What's going on, guys? It's the Dueling Monarch here, and today I'm bringing you a Dueling Network deck profile. I did record a real-life Monarch deck profile, but when I went to go edit it on my PC, stuff just wasn't working right, and the dimensions and everything were whacking out, and so I just couldn't get it to work, so I said, screw it, and I'll just record it on Dueling Network. It would be easier anyway. So starting off, well, before I do anything, first of all, every card you're looking at is the same exact card I'm running in real life. So either way, if I did do a real life deck profile or on here on DN, there would be no difference, except in real life in my actual Monarch deck, I only run one Caius Mega and I run two Ryza Mega, and that's the only difference. But anyway, starting off, I run 3 Caius the Shadow Monarch. One of your main monarchs must run him at 3. I run 3 Ryza the Storm Monarch. Your secondary main monarch must run it at 3. Very good monarch. Next, I run 1 Mobius the Frost Monarch. Whoops, I'm getting instant messages. Next, I run 1 Mobius the Frost Monarch, and I keep it at 1 because you're going to be clearing your opponent's side of the field with your other Monarch card effects anyway. So by the time you draw into Mobius and get him on the field to pop his effect, there won't be as many spells or traps on your opponent's side of the field to take out. So I run him at 1, but he's a really good Monarch nevertheless. Next, I run 2 Caius the Mega Monarch. Like I said, I can only run 1 of him in real life because when I went to go purchase him, there was only 1 available, and so I just ended up buying 2 Ryza the Mega Monarch to balance it out, and keep the deck at 40 cards. Next, on Dueling Network, I run 1 Ryza the Mega, but in real life I run 2. But I'm gonna keep this deck as it is because it works well for me either way. And I run 1 Mobius the Mega Monarch on here. So that's the Monarch lineup, very stable, works well together. I don't think I'd change anything except if I were to run more than 1 Frost or more than 1 Ryza. But I can test that out and tweak it and see how that works. But for now, the deck as is with the Monarch lineup is very good, and it's very stable, and it's very consistent. On to the non-Monarchs, I run 3 Battle Fader just for stalling, in case I start getting bad draws, or I just start out with a bad hand. So I'll use Battle Fader to conserve my life points and basically just stall to get some good draws if I can, so I don't have to take any life point damage. Next, I run 3 Ghost Trick Jack Frost for the same exact reason, just for stalling and an easy way to save my life points and conserve them so I don't have to take any life point damage. Yeah. That's it for the monsters. I run 17 total monsters, but onto the spells, I run 3 Pot of Duality, and the reason I run 3 is because it's the one kink in pots is when this card is used, the turn it's used, you cannot special summon, but you won't be special summoning that much in this deck, and that's why I run it at 3. Pots really makes for great draw power in this deck, and running it at 3 is just makes it a killer deck to run. Next, I run 3 the Monarch Stormforth. This card is really good for Monarchs, and if you're not running it with Monarchs, then you really should start running it. This card does not target and it does not destroy, but it says it tributes. Targeting and destroying is not on the card, but it does tribute one. You can, well, let me restart. The turn you would tribute a Monarch on the field, you can tribute one of your opponent's monsters as if you controlled it. That's what the card says. So it's a really good card. Great for Monarch decks, and like I said, if you're not running Stormforth, start running it. Next, I run 3 Tenacity of the Monarchs. Tenacity is just my searcher for my Monarch spell cards to get them in my hand in case I'm not drawing them or I didn't get one on my first turn hand. Basically, you just reveal 1 Monarch, Mega or normal, in your hand. You reveal it, and then you instantly pull a Monarch spell card from your deck to your hand, and you can activate it once per turn. Very good searcher for your spell cards, and stable and great to run at 3, and that's why I run it at 3. Next, I run 2 March of the Monarchs, and I run 2 because it's very good for this deck, and I can search it with Tenacity anyway, but I use March just to protect my Monarchs from being targeted or destroyed by my opponent's card effects. So running it at 2 is very good. You don't really need to run it at 3 or else it gets cloggy, because you can search it with Tenacity anyway. Normally I'll end up drawing into it, but if I need to, I'll search it with Tenacity just to protect my Monarchs, so I don't have to have any cheeky risks going in with my Monarchs being wiped out on the field. Next, I run only one Return of the Monarchs, and this card basically says when you tribute summon a Monarch, the turn you tribute summon this, you can add a normal Monarch or a Mega Monarch from your deck to your hand. The turn you tribute summon a Monarch. I run it at 1 because, again, I can search it with Tenacity, but it is sort of a useful card, but it's not, to die for, must run. That's why I run it at 1. Very stable at 1. I might run it at 2. Depending on how I feel about it, because it can get sniped with MSTs, and you also could use this card as an MST bait, seeing as you can draw into Monarchs anyway. But again, it is searchable with Tenacity, you can draw into it, stuff like that, so I run it at 1. That's all for the Monarch spell cards. On to the last few spells I run. I run 2 MST. 2 is very stable for this deck, because 3 MST can be cloggy, since you're going to be taking out stuff and cards on your opponent's side of the field with your Monarch monsters effects anyway. So running 2 MST is very stable, and it's perfect for this deck. Next, I run 1 Raigeki. If you don't run a Raigeki in any deck you play, you can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! That's plain and simple. You cannot play Yu-Gi-Oh! If you do not run a Raigeki. So 1 Raigeki, just must run. Next, I run 1 Terraforming to search out my field spell, Void Expansion. And Void Expansion is during every one of your standby phases, you can special summon a Infernoid token. I use this field spell as tribute fodder to get my Monarchs on the field. Easy and simple. So this deck has multiple ways to get Monarchs on the field, endless ways, and running Void Expansion only adds to that list, and it's just super simple and easy to get Monarchs on the field with this deck, and Void Expansion only makes this process easier. That's why I run it at 1. I've never tested it out at 2. I'm thinking about running it out 2 because it can get sniped with MSTs, like a lot of spells in this deck. But for now, I'm going to keep it at 1, and I might test it at 2, depending on how I feel about the card. That's it for the spells. There's 17 total spells in this deck, 17 monsters, 17 spells, and onto the traps. I run 6 traps. Starting off, I run 2 Mirror Force, just as protectors, to protect my life points again. Mirror Force is very standard for any type of deck that you may run. Very familiarized card. A lot of people use it, a lot of people know it, a lot of people get annoyed by it. Yeah, 2 Mirror Force. Next, I run 1 The First Monarch, and he's just a really good monster trap to sit on. What happens is you set him, then you can use him the next turn. He goes to the monster zone. He's got 1000 attack, 2400 defense, and he's a really nice monster trap, to sit on and to use as tribute fodder. Normally I'll use him, and then if I have a Monarch in my hand, I'll wait till next turn and then tribute fodder him, and then get a Monarch on the field, pop my Monarch's effect to clear my opponent's side of the board if they have any monsters or spells that I might be worried about, and eat away at those life points. So I run 1 The First Monarch, very good to sit on and use as tribute fodder. The last 3 traps I run are the one-ofs. I run 1 Compulse, I run 1 Solemn, and I run 1 Bottomless. These one-ofs are very, very good, very stable. Normally what you would run for the one-ofs. And yeah, that's the one-ofs. 1 Compulse, 1 Solemn, 1 Bottomless. That's it for the Monarch deck. No side, no extra. You don't need them. This deck is consistent by itself, very stable, very good. 40 card total deck, 17 monsters, 17 spells, and 6 traps. That's gonna pretty much be it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed, and if you're, if you want to use this deck, build it, tweak it to your liking, edit it, take stuff away, add stuff in, whatever you want. This is just my personal build, and it works 100% great for me, and I don't think I'll be switching much unless I want to add another Void expansion, or take out a Caius Mega and add in a second Ryza Mega like I have in real life, or run an extra Mobius Frost. I don't know. But yeah, that's it for this video, guys. I really do hope you enjoyed. Please like, favorite, and subscribe. Whatever you can do helps out. I'm a new growing channel, and I'm trying to do anything I can to get out there, and I really enjoy making content for you guys, for fellow YouTubers and fellow Yugioh to watch. And just putting content out there, I enjoy it, and it's just something I love doing. That's it for this one. Again, I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll be coming at you with new videos and new content soon. If there's anything you guys want to see in particular, please leave any comments or suggestions. I'm open to anything, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Dueling Monarch out.